My parents destroyed my wedding day by inviting someone who I didn't want to see, and not only that, I don't think I can ever move past it. My now husband and I got married on Halloween, and I'm not okay with how our day went. We didn't want anything big, just close friends and family at the courthouse, dressed in costumes. There were supposed to be 12 adults and one child that was on our guest list. Let's start off with the night before. My husband got sick and he took the whole day to recover to be well. The plan was get my nails done, have my mom French braid my hair, then go home, help him feel better, and pack. When I got to my parents' house, my mom informed me that my 2 aunts weren't coming and that she invited my cousin. I didn't want him there, firstly. Second, she told me as my dad was on the way to pick him and my sister up. I love my cousin, but I'm not close with him, and he's an alcoholic that everybody enables. My small reception was not dry, and she promised me he wouldn't be a problem. The reception was at my parents' house, so she was busy cleaning. I still needed to comb my hair out, and she wanted to surprise me with decorations. Long story short, we were running low on time as it was 9 p.m., and I needed to head home to sleep since our wedding was early in the morning. She doesn't start my hair until after her and my cousins start drinking and smoking. I'm already annoyed. I make it home at midnight and still have to check on hubby and pack. I go to bed at 3 a.m. and have to be up at 5 a.m., but I woke up 30 minutes late. I drive back to her house to get ready and help her get ready. When I get there, everyone is sleeping because after they put up the decorations, they stayed up drinking and smoking. Already running late and stressing because the veil I made myself wouldn't stay. My cousin starts rushing me. My parents start fighting loudly and I'm already exhausted. We make it to the courthouse, get married, and I got a handful of pictures, but everyone else is in like 30 pictures. I got one pic that I liked and only 10 were taken. We get brunch and only my friends are talking to me, and my husband, everyone else isn't even paying attention to us. My mom keeps saying, I'm a mother-in-law today. My friends had to leave. They let us know in advance. So now it's just my family. My cousin is super drunk, won't stop talking. No one is listening to me. And the only person that keeps checking on me is my husband. Eventually I get overwhelmed and we check into our hotel and take a nap. 2-3 hours later, we head back to the house to give everyone a second chance. But they are clearly more intoxicated and loud. Cuss words are flying. My husband tries to calm me down by telling me to start playing our wedding playlist that we made ourselves. The entire time my cousin is complaining about the music. He wanted us to play more hardcore rap. Now I wasn't opposed to song requests and even played some songs he requested. But every song that wasn't his, he complained, asked me to turn it off. Or asked why would I play this song. Our first dance was to Can I Have This Dance from HSM, and he asked me to turn it off. When we were ready to cut the cake, no one came and took pictures. No one was even in the room with us because my cousin was drunk rapping his hot mess bars. My wedding day didn't feel like my day. I had no say in anything. No one paid attention to us. And I have one picture. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, but here I am. I'm crying at 4:32 a.m. on Reddit. No sleep, while my husband sleeps peacefully. I couldn't tell him earlier because we had to get intoxicated just to deal with them, and he already doesn't like my dad, so I didn't want him to say anything in that situation. Update. I posted here about how my parents and cousin ruined my wedding and how I didn't know what to do, so here's the update. After posting here, I tried to get some sleep but couldn't and ended up waking my husband. He and I talked and he told me he felt the same way. I cried all morning until he made me lay down to finally sleep. I maybe got 3 hours of sleep before waking up in incredible pain and feeling nauseous. We checked out of our hotel early and went to the hospital. I had the same sickness he had the day before our wedding. We went back to my parents' house so I could get some real sleep before making the drive home. We did not talk to my parents about it. After talking to our friends, we decided that we would redo the pictures next Wednesday and have a mini party to celebrate. My husband told me to feel my feelings but not to worry about it because he would fix it. I trust that he will. What I hadn't mentioned in my previous post was this was my first wedding, and we were having another one next year for everyone to come to, which is why it hurts so much to have my mom do that to me. Neither one of us are particularly close with our families, but has to not have drama, we decided to have a smaller, intimate one this year and the bigger, more extravagant one next year. After what happened with this wedding, we both made the decision that my mom would never have the opportunity to do this to me again, and she will have no say-so in the next one. We did eventually talk to my mom about her actions, and it went about as expected. She made herself to be the victim, and me out to be the bad guy. She used my aunt's passing as an excuse to invite my cousin. She also told me she asked if he could come but doesn't see that she gave me no way to say no. She doesn't understand how she ruined our day. I'm sorry you feel like I ruined your day was the apology I received. Eventually I gave up trying to get her to understand how she ruined and the fact that we weren't mad at her, just extremely hurt. I did tell her that there was no way for her to make this up to me, and apparently that was the wrong thing to say. I gray-rocked her until she got off the phone and cried into my husband's chest until he made me laugh. As for going NC or LC with my parents, I was already LC with my dad for things in the past, and I'm currently LC with my mom, but she doesn't get that. She's called me 20x today alone, and I haven't answered once. I'm working on processing things that happened in childhood, but I can't get over the fact that they're my parents. I know with everything that has happened, not even just my wedding, that I should be NC with them. For some reason, my heart won't let me. LC for now. We appreciate the comments you guys left, and he really enjoyed reading that he's doing a good job. I really did pick a good one, and even though our wedding day wasn't what we wanted, I did marry the love of my life. He continues to prove that to me daily, and I've never been happier. Unless something of more significance happens, this will be the only update. Thank you again, and I hope you all enjoyed your Halloween. Now on to the next story. Story 2. My best friend dropped a nuclear bomb on me by revealing he was FWB with my current GF, and they were doing it while we were on the start of our relationships. Before meeting my current girlfriend, I had been single for a long while. I had several really rough relationships where we just didn't work, and it was sad. I had been on the dating apps, and it was draining my will to date. Just horrible experiences, and I felt like I was just making myself depressed. My best friend said he knew this girl who felt the same way about online dating, had some really bad experiences, and was perfect for me. We hit it off almost right away. Our first day was amazing. Our second date was amazing. We went from strangers to seeing each other twice a week. She asked to put off the physical part of our relationship, and no joke, for 2 months we didn't have sex. We didn't have sex until we went away for the first time. We were in a hotel room, and it was so awkward. Never have sex for the first time when you are also staying at a hotel together for the first time. We got into a groove, and I think we'd both say that we have a great sex life. It's been 6 months, things are going great. We had our first mini vacation together, and not long ago she told me she loved me, and I quickly followed. Cut to Sunday, and my friends and I are talking. My best friend is busting the chops of another friend. It was in good fun, but he made a joke that our other friend took a little too seriously. So as retribution, he turned to me and told me that my best friend, the guy who introduced me to the girl I'm in love with, was not only her FWB, but they had one last sexual encounter between our first and second date. I nearly threw up. I know she had a FWB situation, and after our second date, she told me she wanted to hold off on the physical, but that she was done with the FWB and wanted to know if I would do the same, be exclusive. I didn't have a FWB situation, I wasn't seeing anyone else, and so I cool with it. I wasn't super excited that she was with a different guy, but it was in the past. She never brought it up again, and I was happy to never think about it again. Until my buddy dropped that nuclear bomb. My friend could only mutter, "Dude," and got angry for being outed. He immediately texted my GF who blew up my phone. My best friend's thoughts on that subject are, get over it. He was angry that our buddy outed him, but felt that it was funnier more than anything and tried to joke we could share notes. I love my friend, but he's gross. He has a natural charm and can get with women, and somehow convinces them to do gross things. He will share bits and pieces of his escapades, and I'm now convinced some things he shared must have been with my GF. He's got a huge dong, which is another blow, given I'm average, I think. On one hand, he's fun and charming, but he'll openly admit that he likes his role as FWB and isn't looking for anything serious, so he's not too concerned with her pleasure or making her feel valued. On the other, he's into some weird things. I haven't seen my GF this week as we were both busy. She knows I learned about the background. She sent a long text on Sunday, and it's basically, "Yeah, he and I banged. I'm with you now. Get over it. I'll see you Friday." I'm really kind of grossed out. The friend who outed this situation told me that I shouldn't get too upset, and another friend said it all had racial undertone. I feel really gross about it. My friend would occasionally mention things he did, and now I can't stop picturing it being my GF. Some dudes might get off on that. Others might be totally cool with it. I feel super awkward, inadequate, and gross. Update. Thanks for everyone's advice. Definitely didn't break up. I couldn't go through with breaking it off. I read all the comments and had about 50 arguments with her in my head where I played both sides. Then I got ready to end it and dump her. But Wednesday, she was informed that there had been a horrible tragedy that rocked her whole family, and she was just beside herself. She was so upset that I had to call out of work at the end of the week to go be with her. She begged me not to leave, so I told her I would stay. I work in a field where I'm exposed to these kinds of issues on the regular, and was able to help her family navigate some common issues and help explain what happened. Her family is really not in a place to do anything right now, so I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend here as no one is eating or thinking clearly, and so they need some people who can help relieve some pressure. I had to call my friend because I didn't have some things I needed, so he went to my place, got everything, drove the 2 hours to bring it, and then offered to cover my shift on Monday so I can stay a bit longer. That's the kind of thing I meant when I said he was a good person. He'd drive 4 hours round trip and cover for you without expecting anything in return. Last night, GF was going to bring up the issue between us, but instead of having a difficult conversation in the midst of these circumstances, I asked that we just drop it. She wanted clarity, and I asked that we ignore it and move on, act like I never found out. She agreed to that. She's been in need of a lot of emotional support, and she has been really struggling. But throughout everything, she's taken time to tell me how much she loves, appreciates, cares for me, and has thanked me repeatedly for helping out. I was helping her mom clean up from a meal and she thanked me for all the help and told me some things my GF confided in her. It was very sweet and apropos of nothing. Her family has been incredibly welcoming and kind, despite the circumstances and the fact that I only met them twice before all of this. It's a little weird to go from being at dinner at a restaurant and a family birthday to sleeping in their daughter's room and helping them understand complex issues. Altogether, it's really weird and our issues feel a million miles away. I feel awkward about having considered breaking up with her. I had gone over it a million times in my head. I'm not sure how long she'll need me here for, or how long she intends to stay, so I guess I'm sleeping on her floor for a while yet. Does it suddenly not bother me? It still bothers me. Some people said that their behavior was inexcusable and others said I was a dirtbag for bringing it up. I still feel like they lied to me. They knowingly didn't disclose what their relationship was. It had been sexual and they said they were just distant acquaintances. Neither ever mentioned the entire time we were dating in the early phase that they had been going at it. Moreover, we had spent a lot of time together as a group and they pretended to just be acquaintances. That feels really shitty to me. Really, really shitty. I still feel weird about being with someone my friend was with. I feel weird that we both know her in that way. I feel weird that her past is a constant reminder when we're together. When my friend came with my stuff, they interacted for a brief moment and made a feeble attempt at a lighthearted joke about it. It was awkward. I get that on the whole they are entirely wrong for each other and were just mutually bored. She wanted a relationship and was with him until the right one came along. Unfortunately for me, the right one was me, and she was with my friend. I still find it gross. But on the whole, I think I can get past the gross. I can get past the weird awkwardness. I have asked that this info never ever be shared with anyone who may not know. I have asked that the subject not be brought up again. And over text, I asked my friend why he thought we'd hit it off knowing their history. He wasn't apologetic per se, more of a "I told you so" kind of thing, but did explain his rationale. I'm annoyed at my friend and annoyed at my GF, but she needs support and so I need to put all the emotions away. I feel gross and unhappy in some ways, but in others I realize that she and I have a great thing. We share a lot of goals and are aligned on so many things. I know she loves me and I her. I'll get over the dick size differential eventually and hopefully she's not secretly harboring resentment that I'm not hung like a Clydesdale. So, long way of saying nothing changed. Proceeding as if I never found out and pushing my emotions down. Best way to operate for me.